What if everything we know about the birth of civilization is incomplete? For decades, we believed cities came first, that agriculture came first. We believed organized society was born from farming. Temples came later. But what if we were wrong? In the hills of southeastern Turkey lies a structure that should not exist. A temple older than the pyramids, older than Stonehenge, older than writing itself. Built by people who were not supposed to have the knowledge to build anything like it. This is Göbekli Tepe. Before Göbekli Tepe was discovered, the story of civilization seemed simple. Historians believed they understood how complex societies began. First came agriculture. Humans learned to grow crops. They domesticated animals. They stopped wandering. Food surplus allowed people to settle permanently. Permanent settlements became villages. Villages became cities. Only after cities formed did large temples appear. Religion, they believed, was a result of stability, not its origin. It was a clean timeline, linear, orderly, logical, and for decades, no one seriously questioned it. But then, in southeastern Turkey, that entire model began to collapse. In the 1990s, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt visited a remote hill near the village of Şanlıurfa. At first glance, it did not look extraordinary. Just a mound of earth with scattered stones. But Schmidt noticed something unusual. The stones were not natural. They had been shaped, carved, deliberately placed. When excavation began, massive pillars emerged from beneath the soil. They were unlike anything from that time period. Schmidt quickly realized this was not a settlement. There were no houses, no hearths, no evidence of daily life. This was something else, something ceremonial, something monumental, and far older than anyone expected. Göbekli Tepe consists of multiple circular enclosures, each one carefully constructed from enormous stone pillars. At the center of every circle stand two towering T-shaped monoliths. They dominate the space. Some pillars weigh up to 20 tons, carved entirely from local limestone. There were no metal tools, no pulleys, no wheels, no draft animals. Only stone tools, human hands, coordination, planning, and belief. The level of organization required was astonishing for a society we once considered primitive. Radiocarbon testing was performed on organic material found within the site. The results shocked the academic world. Göbekli Tepe dates back to approximately 9600 BC. That is over 11,000 years ago. To understand how early that is, consider this. The Great Pyramids of Egypt were built around 2500 BC. Stonehenge appeared around 3000 BC. Mesopotamian cities emerged thousands of years later. Göbekli Tepe predates all of them. It existed before writing, before pottery, before metallurgy. It was constructed during the pre-pottery Neolithic period, a time when humans were still experimenting with settled life. At that time, human societies were primarily hunter-gatherers. They followed animal migrations. They moved with the seasons. They lived in small bands, flexible groups based on survival, not massive organized communities. Yet to build Göbekli Tepe, hundreds of individuals must have cooperated over extended periods. They quarried stone, transported pillars, erected structures with precise alignment. This required leadership, communication, shared vision, and powerful motivation. What could inspire such coordination before cities even existed? The answer may lie in belief. The pillars are covered with intricate carvings, each figure carefully etched into solid limestone. Foxes stretch along the sides. Snakes coil across surfaces. Wild boars appear in dynamic relief. Birds of prey are positioned prominently. Some seem to hover. Others dominate the scene. Many scholars believe the T-shaped pillars represent stylized human forms. Carved arms run down the sides. Hands rest at the lower abdomen. These were not random monuments. They were symbolic, intentional, communicating ideas we are still trying to decode. To build something so complex, large groups had to gather regularly. This was not accidental. It required planning. Hunter-gatherers do not typically remain in one location for long periods. So why gather here? Why invest labor in massive ceremonial structures? One revolutionary theory suggests that shared religious rituals brought these groups together. And once gatherings became frequent, food shortages would follow. Large groups require stability. Perhaps agriculture developed not as the beginning of civilization, but as a response to ritual gatherings. After centuries of activity, something unexpected happened. Göbekli Tepe was buried. Not destroyed by war, not abandoned in chaos, intentionally covered. Layer by layer, earth and debris were packed around the pillars. The structures were preserved, protected from erosion, protected from time. Why would a civilization invest so much effort only to conceal it? Climate change is one theory. Cultural transformation is another. The truth remains uncertain. Only a fraction of the site has been excavated. Most of it remains underground. Archaeologists estimate that over 80% of Göbekli Tepe is still buried. There may be older structures beneath what we see today. Earlier attempts, earlier monuments. Each excavation season raises new questions and pushes human history further back. What if this was not the beginning? What if it was only one chapter of a much older story? Göbekli Tepe forces us to reconsider human capability, not as primitive wanderers, but as complex thinkers. It suggests that shared belief may have united humans before political systems did, before governments, before written laws, before recorded history. If civilization began with belief, then the story of humanity is more complex than we imagined. And if this temple rewrites our past, what else lies buried beneath the surface of history? Göbekli Tepe is not just an archaeological site. It is proof that history is still being rewritten